Welcome to the Space Foundation Discovery Center's Artifact Lesson Series. Who doesn't love a museum? We all do. But what really brings a museum and its artifacts to life are the staff and docents that work at the museum. Here at the Discovery Center, we have a wonderful cadre of docents who bring decades of expertise and experience in the space industry, and they're the ones who really bring the Discovery Center experience to life. Let's meet Bill Furch, who will teach us about a really cool piece of space exploration history from right here in our collection, the Viking Lander.
Hi, my name is Bill Furch, and I'm a volunteer docent at the Space Foundation Discovery Center in Colorado Springs, Colorado. Today, we are going to discuss one of the artifacts in the Discovery Center, a full-size model of the Viking Lander. The Lander includes a 6-sided aluminum base with 3.5 feet by 2 feet long sides, supported on 3 extended legs attached to the shorter sides. There were 2 Viking spacecraft, and they were built by Lockheed Martin Company and the Jet Propulsion Laboratory. Each spacecraft consisted of 2 parts: the orbiter, built by JPL, and the lander, built by Martin Marietta Company, which later merged into Lockheed Martin in Littleton, Colorado. Both Viking spacecraft were launched in the fall of 1975 and arrived in orbit around Mars in the summer of 1976. After remaining in orbit for more than a month and sending back images of potential landing sites to Earth, the engineers on Earth commanded the orbiter and lander of each spacecraft to separate, and then the 2 landers soft landed on the surface at the sites that had been chosen. The orbiters remained in orbit to act as relays to Earth for the data coming from the landers. The landers' objectives were to 1. Obtain high-resolution images of the Martian surface, 2. Characterize the structure and composition of the atmosphere and surface using instruments on the lander, and 3. Search for evidence of life on Mars. So why is this artifact important to space exploration? The 2 Viking landers were the first successful USA landers to touch down on the surface of Mars and send images back to Earth. By discovering many geological formations that are typically formed from large amounts of water, the images that the landers captured and relayed to Earth via the orbiters caused a revolution in our ideas about the presence of water on Mars. Life as we know it requires water, and finding the presence of water in the past on Mars indicated perhaps that there was also life in the past. Additionally, the 2 Vikings also raised questions such as whether there is still water existing on or below Mars' surface. These questions are currently being investigated by subsequent Mars landers and rovers such as Opportunity and Curiosity. Each lander had an American flag on it, and the colors of the flag helped the engineers color correct the images being received from Mars. You know, when the Vikings were launched, I was a young engineer out of college for a few years and really interested in the space program and all the satellites and spacecraft that were being launched. I remember the Viking launch as well. Looking back 45 years later, it's astonishing to me that we accomplished what we did with a lander incorporating radioisotope thermoelectric generators that provided just 30 watts of power, half as much as the average light bulb. When most spacecraft leave the Earth's surface, they never return. However, in the case of the Viking Lander, you can go to the Discovery Center and see a full-size model of the Viking Lander, including all the electronics instrumentation. It really helps you appreciate what a bunch of engineers accomplished 45 years ago. I have terrific memories of growing up in Littleton, Colorado, where many of my neighbors were working on the Viking program or the Titan III rocket that launched the Viking orbiter and lander to Mars. It was truly an exciting time for me.
We hope you've enjoyed this Discovery Center artifact lesson, and we invite you to continue learning through the virtual Discovery Center at discoverspace.org. If you'd like to further your exploration, join us by becoming a Discovery Center Passport member.